For the last few weeks, it's felt like the AI's skepticism was really starting to build, right? You could feel it in the news, on social media, and especially on Wall Street. But then, one day, one single day happened, and poof, everything changed.
I mean, that's really the only way you can put it, because one company, Oracle, had one of the most insane trading days in recent memory. And just like that, all that doubt, it just vanished. All right, so to really get what happened here, we've got to dive into the numbers behind this shockwave. And it all starts with Oracle's stock. 36%. That was Oracle's final stock gain in a single day. And get this, at one point, it was up as much as 43%. This absolutely massive surge took the company from, a valuation around $600 billion and put it on a fast track to becoming a trillion-dollar company. We're talking practically overnight. But here's the crazy part. This explosion wasn't about what they'd already done. In fact, Oracle actually had a small miss on their earnings. No, this was all about the future. The market was reacting to this number, a colossal $455 billion backlog in contracts over the next 5 years. So who was the mystery customer behind the biggest piece of that pie? Well, it didn't take long for us to find out. It was OpenAI, signing a mind-boggling $300 billion deal. I mean, that is one of the single largest cloud contracts in history, period.
And the physical scale of this deal, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. To actually pull this off, Oracle needs to deliver 4.5 gigawatts of compute power. So what does that even mean? Well, to put it in perspective for you, that requires the energy equivalent of 2 Hoover dams. We're not just talking about software anymore. This is a monumental, world-building kind of infrastructure project.
Okay, so when you see money like this moving around, it doesn't just shake up the markets. It has this huge symbolic meaning. And in this case, it's changing the answer to a very famous question. Who is the world's richest person? Think about it. The title of world's wealthiest person has always kind of followed whatever the dominant tech category of the era was, right? In the 90s, you had Bill Gates, software. The 2010s, that was Jeff Bezos and the rise of e-commerce. Then in 2021, Elon Musk takes the crown on the back of EVs and green tech. And now? Well, that massive Oracle rally pushed its founder, Larry Ellison, right into that top spot. The richest person on the planet is now an AI infrastructure baron. Wild. But of course, a move this big, this fast, it's going to spark a debate. Not everyone is buying it, which brings us to the huge argument that's now raging on Wall Street. And here is the absolute core of the skeptics' argument, summed up perfectly by this stock analyst, Thomas Chua. See, OpenAI's current revenue is somewhere around $10 billion. That is a very long way from being able to just pay for a $300 billion deal out of pocket. Their ability to actually pay for this, it is not guaranteed. So the whole debate really boils down to this. You've got the bears, who see a super high-risk, cash-burning customer in OpenAI. They look at the revenue and say it looks circular, and they're worried about stranded investments for Oracle if this all goes south. But then you have the bulls, and they're arguing that sitting on the sidelines right now is just extremely expensive. They're basically saying, look, ignore the complicated financials for a second and focus on the fundamental reality. There is an unrelenting, unstoppable demand for AI. And this quote, it just nails the bull perspective. The argument is that, yeah, the financial mechanics are complex, maybe even a little messy, but the underlying demand for AI infrastructure, that is undeniably real, and it is simply too big to bet against right now. Okay, but this whole shift, it isn't just about stock market hype and financial signals. It's also being backed up by some very real, tangible technological progress that, we can actually see and touch. And a perfect example of this is a new tool called Agent 3 from a company called Replit. So much of the public conversation has been focused on which base model is better than another. But meanwhile, companies like Replit are building entire systems and agents on top of those models. And they're creating these huge performance gains, like right now. Agent 3 is a really big leap forward for what these autonomous coding agents can do. It's not just writing code anymore. It's running its own tests, it's actively fixing bugs as it finds them, and it's even building other agents. But maybe the most important thing, it can do all of this for a long, sustained period of time.
And as Paul Graham, the founder of Y Combinator, points out, this ability to think productively over a long time, that's a supercritical benchmark for AI. Replit's agent is now up to 200 minutes. And let me tell you, that is a huge deal. We're moving from AI that can do one little task to an AI that can work continuously to maintain and improve a whole product.
So beyond just practical agents, we're also seeing these fundamental research breakthroughs. And one of the biggest just solved a core AI problem called non-determinism, which is basically just a fancy word for the randomness you get in an AI's answers. This has been such a persistent, thorny issue for so long. You could give an AI the exact same prompt on the exact same model 2 different times, and you could get 2 wildly different answers. This Starbucks analogy makes it so easy to understand. Imagine you order the same coffee every day, but it tastes different depending on how many people are in line. I mean, that's nuts, right? But that's essentially what was happening with AI models. So here's how they finally cracked it. The problem was that the results changed based on server traffic, because to be efficient, all the requests were bundled into these batches. But this new research group, Thinking Machines Lab, they created a breakthrough they call batch invariant kernels. The impact here is just enormous. They've basically dropped a solution to a problem that many, many smart people had just given up on, and that's got everyone really excited about core AI science again. All right, so when we take a step back and look at everything, the financial shockwave, the practical leap forward in AI agents, and this fundamental research breakthrough, what does it all add up to? What does it all mean?
Well, it means we have 3 distinct, really powerful signals all pointing in the same direction. You've got a massive financial vote of confidence from Wall Street. You have a tangible leap forward in what AI agents can actually do in the real world. And you have a breakthrough in core AI science that solves a problem people thought was unfixable. When you put all that together, it really suggests that, for now at least, the era of AI skepticism is over. And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. If the narrative has truly shifted away from all the doubt and the AI gold rush is officially back on, the big question now becomes, what are we actually going to build with it?